Just want to, on a slightly more serious note, if I could, obviously there's been a great deal of loss in the last sort of 18 months, 2 years with, some fantastic musicians. Bowie, who we talked about before, and then obviously a guy who you guys know well, we knew well with Chris Cornell this year, and Chester as well. Just want to get sort of your thoughts on it, because we've been doing a bit on our show. We obviously relate to a lot of men, and we have a big problem in the country with, a high suicide rate and stuff like that, and obviously it seems to affect even people that appear like they've got it all. It must really rock you guys as well when hearing news like that, and people that you think have got it all together.
When it comes to someone like Chris Cornell or Chester, depression is a disease, and everybody kind of goes through it their own way. I can't speak for anybody else's condition, but the hardest part is when you lose a friend, and I just always immediately think of their families and their bandmates, and because going through something like suicide, it's a long road, and Chris was such a beautiful guy, man. He was the sweetest person. He was so talented. He had so much to offer that it was a real shock to hear that he had gone. But I think that mental health and depression is something that people should really take seriously, and there's a stigma attached to it that's unfortunate, because just as you take care of yourselves in every other way, I think it's important that people really try to take care of themselves in that way too. And it ain't easy, life's hard, but
like you said, people, you got it so together. That just goes to show you, it doesn't matter what's in your, what's in your bank account, or how many hits are on your YouTube page, or all that kind of crap. It all goes out the window if you're, like Dave said, if you're not feeling right, And so, Chris would not to get to hear Chris Cornell make another record again is my selfish version of it. And there's such a bigger, such a bigger hurt beyond my own selfish. I barely knew him a little bit, but what I did know him, he was super cool. I didn't know Chester very well at all, but I knew Chris a little bit, and Dave knew him a little bit too, and we just loved his records, man. Some of the first stuff me and Dave ever jammed on when we would just goof around in the jam room, in the rehearsal room in between Biff. I can remember as far back as when I first joined the band, and me and you just playing Soundgarden riffs together. Yeah. And I remember making Nothing Left to Lose with the guy who engineered and produced some of their records, and we would just listen to their records a lot. They're big inspiration for us as musicians, and Chris Cornell is just a master. So the loss, it's a bummer, but like Dave said, that's a real thing.
Look after yourselves and your mates.
Look after yourself, and if it looks like someone's down, way down, check on them.
Some great words. And that's it. Thank you for co-hosting the Morning Rumble on The Rock today. Taylor Hawkins, Dave Grohl, all the best for the album, which is out September 15, Concrete and Gold. Yeah. All the best for that. It's a great album. We heard it the other night. It's fantastic. And keep on rocking in the Rock 1500, because you guys are killing it.
Yeah. Good luck with your thing that you got.